Flosstube. I am Molly West and this is Sensible Stitches, and I wanted to give you an update. It's been about a week and a half since my last update and I have a finish, so I'm just going to show that first. I was working on Homespun Elegance Holiest of Nights, and I'm getting ready to pass this stash to one of my sweet viewers who commented that she wished she had it in her stash. And this is a gift for my sister. It's done. It's so pretty. Let's see if I can get it closer. There are a lot of blends in this, and a little bit of backstitch. I'm so happy with how it turned out. So the next thing that I need to do is to send this to somebody to have them turn it into a pillow so that I can gift it to my sister. If anyone has a recommendation, I've reached out to 2 different people and both of them said that they were like at capacity for their clientele. And so if anyone has a recommendation as to who could turn this into a little pillow for me, I don't need it until December, but if you wouldn't mind commenting below, I need some help. Thank you. So I'm thrilled. I have a finish, yay! And I'm going to be passing my stash, so that's great. The next thing that I worked on was Phronsie. I am only working on the dog. I have decided not to work on the rest. The whole sampler is beautiful, but I am simply stitching the dog. And the last time that I showed you this, it is full coverage and it's big. I mean, this is a it's so deceptive. This is on a 40 count Valor. The last one I showed you, Holiest of Night, is on a 32 count Witchelt called the Golden Needle, and this one is on 40 count Valor. And the last time I showed you this, I had taken the orange all the way across and I had filled in a little bit of the bottom. This is the dog bed. I have now filled in all of the bottom of the dog bed and I have a little bit more of the dog bed to go, and then I can actually start stitching the King Charles Cavalier. So I'm excited. I got a lot of stitching done on this one. I'm very, very happy with how much I got done there. So that's, I refer to him as Phronzie's dog. My parents own Cavaliers and they are such sweet dogs. The next piece that I worked on is for my middle daughter, Fern. And I've told her that I'm going to try and get it finished for her by her birthday, and she was thrilled with it. And for the first time ever, she came and sat down next to me and watched me cross stitch, and I would talk her through like how the different legs worked, and it's so neat. She's really into the piece. We listened to the story of Thumbelina, I would say about once a week on my audiobooks. The chart is out of here, and I will put a close-up of what the chart will look like. But I have completely finished Thumbelina asleep in her walnut shell with a rose petal as her blanket. I need to fill in the floral arrangement around it, and after this, she wants me to work up into where the butterfly and Thumbelina are together. So that's where I am. And on this piece, I have stitched several pieces out of Veronica Engineer's, I hope I'm saying her name correctly. That's the worst. Out of this book. And I will say that her pieces are so beautiful. Just, so beautiful, but they are pretty backstitch heavy. And so one of the decisions I made on this one, the last one that I completed, I finished it and then it kind of sat idle for a long time because I wasn't wanting to do the backstitch, which I finished it, it's done, it's behind me. On this one, I have decided I am going to backstitch each motif as I go so that I don't have that weird hang up at the ends where I'm like, I'm gonna take a pass on that, because I really don't mind back stitching. I think that when it's a large piece, I just become kind of overwhelmed by it. So, you know, I'm just gonna back stitch as I go, easy breezy, and that is my plan for um, for Thumbelina. She's so cute. I loved stitching on her. Loved it, loved it, loved it. The next thing that I stitched on, I have not pulled this out in a long time. It is Little House Needleworks Old West, and I will insert a picture of it. And here is my progress. So I am recharting this to fit Fort Worth, Texas, which is where I live. So this won't be the Alamo. This will be the livestock exchange. I've replaced some of the pine trees with oaks just because that's what we have here. And I've stitched in this horse. This is what I worked on this last week and a half. And when I stitch this rider, it will be a woman and not a man. So you can expect to see some long hair flowing. And so at any rate, that's kind of where this one is. It is stitched 1/1 on 32 count. So even though it is it's a big piece, it is stitched super tiny. And so I will be able to put it in just a small picture frame. I love working on this one. It's so fun when you get to personalize something and make it meaningful to you or your hometown or whatever it is. And so that one is especially fun. Let's see, the next thing that I worked on was my prized pig. And this time I finished, I think I had stopped right about here, and so I put in several hundred stitches just coming down to the pig feet. I still have the hooves to stitch in, and then the middle of, I think I'm about a third of the way finished with this little dude. He is so cute. And one of the things that happened while I was stitching on him was that I kept thinking, this is reminding me so much of something. And I realized what it was. And so I pulled it out so that I could show you what it was reminding me of. If I ever decide to toss all of these cute little black and white animals into like a dough bowl, I can easily stitch up a couple of these. I love that they're all neutral with pops of red because that's exactly what the prized pig is. So anyways, I might stitch up a few of these guys and maybe make them a little bit less Christmassy and pop them in a dough bowl in my living room. But this pig right here reminds me so much of my prized pig. Don't you just love a good hog? So anyways, that's so fun. And then, you know, of course, I popped this in here too because it's also a bunch of just neutral colors with pops of red. And this one is In the Woods by Prairie Schooler. But it's, you know, just the animals in neutrals with those pops of reds. So pretty. So I was thinking about maybe stitching a few of these and putting them all inside one really big dough bowl in my living room. My living room is almost entirely neutrals with two bright red paintings. And so I thought that might be pretty. And my next piece that I've been working on, actually, I think this one is a new start. It can also get tossed into the same dough bowl. That is now just a figment of my imagination, but perhaps one day. And this one is so pretty. It's by the Scattered Seed Samplers, and it's called Faithful Friends. So Faithful Friend and Prized Pig are both being stitched on 40 count raw. And so I'm considering using raw for a bunch of my black and white animals so that they all have a similar look and feel to them. And I am just using variety of fancy floss. Just, I'm pulling black and white and gold just from my stash. And the next thing that I worked on, and I am behind on this one, I said I was going to put in 2 lengths of thread every day until election day, and I did a really great job until I didn't. So I need to get caught back up. Oops. Suffrage Act proclaimed. This is where I am. And I love it. I think it's, I'm very excited to get into the body of it a little bit more. I mean, I am enjoying working on the border, but I will get excited to get into the body a little bit more. And I wanted to let you all know that I have 2 of these. I intentionally did it for a giveaway. So I have 2 of this. I'll be keeping my working copy, and I will give this one away. So if anybody would like to stitch this with me, just put, use the word vote in the comment section, and then I'll draw a winner next time. So let me know. And then I think this is the last thing that I worked on this month. Oh no, I have 2 more things that I worked on. I worked on all sorts of stuff. I didn't get just a ton done on this one, but I worked on Birds of a Feather Summer, and I will insert a photograph here. Okay, I am stitching this 2/2 on 28 count bright white, and since you've seen it last, I have stitched in a bit more of the water, a bit more of the bird, and I've added most of this boat. And it's going to be beautiful. It's just huge. It's just going to take me a long time to get it completely stitched in. But I am still really, really enjoying working on this one. Super, super contemporary and bright and bold and colorful. And I just absolutely love it. I love the color choices. The only thing that I'm doing is I will be changing any of the bright white threads, because I'm stitching on bright white, for more of like a light gray. So those are, and it's like part of the sail, and I think maybe 1 or 2 of the seashells. And so that is the only change that I am making. I'm using all the called for weeks. And then the last thing that I worked on was my Heaven and Earth design. So much fun. And here is the one that I am stitching. It's called the Black and White Horse. And I am starting right over here on him. Now there are almost 170,000 stitches. So I will not finish him for a very long time to come. But the reason that I selected this spot was because there's a lot of negative space, and I figured I could work my way across his throat latch and over to his the bridge of his nose. Isn't he so beautiful? Oh, I love him. So I put well over 1,000 stitches into this guy, and I'll show you where I am, but it's this is one of those Heaven and Earth designs that really you won't be able to tell much until he's just nearly done. But this is where he's so wrinkly. This is where I am on him. Wait, yeah, that's the front. And like I said, I got about 1,000 stitches put in. He's going to be absolutely beautiful when I'm finished with him, but stay tuned. That's a long road to hoe, friends. So at any rate, that's where I am. I hope everyone's having a great week. Happy stitching. Bye.